Hello students, my name is Cynthia and I work with Students Rising Above. We help students apply for college, graduate, and enter the workforce. So let's get started. First of all, what is a resume? Well, a resume is your first introduction to your employer. And in the case of scholarships and college applications, it's really easy to transfer that information over to your applications. And lastly, when you ask your teachers, community leaders, or employers to write recommendation letters for you, giving them your resume will definitely give them a better snapshot of who you are and what you do, so they write stronger letters of rec. So now we are going to go into the 5 major components of a resume. First, at the top of your resume, you should have your contact information. Make sure to bold your name and include your address, phone number, and email. Now, make sure that your email is appropriate. babygirl@gmail.com is not the best idea. However, using a more professional email like your last name and first name at gmail.com is a much better idea. Now that you have that, let's go into our education section. Here you are going to list your high school and your expected graduation date. You can include your GPA if it's higher than a 3.0 as well. Also, if you've taken any community college courses, you can add the community college in this section and the dates you attended. Now we move on to our next section, which is the honors and awards. Here you are going to list any academic achievements and awards you've received throughout high school. So for example, if you've gotten the Principal Honors Awards, you'd list that and the date or dates you received that award. Next is your extracurricular activities. This is a very important section because colleges and scholarships want to see that you're not only dedicated to your studies, but you're also an active participant in your community and in your school. So how many of you, by a show of hands, are involved in sports, whether at your school or in your community? Okay, raise your hand if you do community service through organizations or at your local church. Let's say perhaps creating Christmas baskets for those in need. Okay, what about those of you who are involved in after-school clubs or clubs that meet during lunch? For example, the robotics club. Great, so all these are examples of extracurricular activities. They show that besides school, you are also involved in extra activities, showing that you can balance. Let's go into the specifics about this section. In the first line, you want to list the name of the team, organization, or activity you were involved in. I'm going to use the example, OMG, Offering More Guidance Tutoring Club. And I have to make sure that whenever I'm listing my work experience, my extracurricular activities, my honors and awards, education, everything is from most recent to the least recent. Okay, so underneath that, I am putting my specific title. So my specific title in the case of Offering More Guidance Tutoring Club is tutor. That was my specific title. Underneath that is where I start to describe the specific work I did in this activity using an action verb first. So there are no I statements anywhere in your resume. This is where your action verbs list that you have comes in handy. In my example, I would put assisted students in multiple subjects in order to help them succeed academically. Next is your work experience category. Here you will list any work experience that you have. Working in a family business also counts as work experience So this is where you would list it. In your next section is your skills. Here, you want to highlight if you speak, read, and or write proficiently in another language. You also want to note any computer skills that you have, for example, Photoshop. And you want to add 2 to 3 personal attributes that would help you succeed in the workplace and in college, such as flexible and ability to collaborate as part of a team. Those were the major sections of the resume. You are now ready to start drafting your own on the worksheet I provided. It was a pleasure talking to you about resume writing. My email is here below, so you can contact me for any extra questions. Also, join SRA, Students Rising Above. We have an online hub where you have access to 24/7 college support.